There is a lot to think about before buying a rental property. I have come up with a small list of 10 things to consider before committing yourself and making that purchase. Define your market. For people starting out, house hacking is a great way to go because you are living in the property. You will receive first-hand experience dealing with tenants and maintenance issues from day one. There is also the family rental market, professional market and student market. They can all work well. You should certainly give it some thought before purchasing a property. You will also need to consider what is your total budget. Before you start searching for properties, first work out what you can afford to buy. There is so much to consider when doing this. The basics would be: how much cash do you have to invest? Would you need to borrow money? If so, from where would you borrow it, and from whom and how much? A good place to start would be your existing bank. Choosing the correct location. Location is certainly one of the most important things to consider when buying a rental property. Of course, price does come into this, but choose a property in a good area or up and coming area. If self-managing the property, I would suggest to buy a property within an hour's drive from where you live. Somewhere you can get to with ease. Don't make your job more difficult than it needs to be. You should also take into consideration whether you want to buy a new build or used house. Newly built apartments can be a good choice if you want to buy multiple properties at once and don't want to deal with renovation work, but you will pay a premium for them. Used houses are an ideal choice when you want to add value to the property. Also, you should be able to buy the property for a better price, which is essential when building a business. Adding value. When buying used homes, the key is to add value and maximise the rental price. This can be done by a full house refurb or adding bedrooms or just updating the existing kitchens and bathrooms. Maybe converting the garage into a second apartment, creating two incomes. If you are going to do a full refurb, don't buy a house that's already in perfect condition. There is no point in destroying a good house. What is your skill level? I think if you are going to renovate or self-manage your rental properties, it will certainly help if you have a hands-on approach. Calling someone to fix all problems will drastically reduce your profit. Learn to push yourself to gain more skills. By leveling up your skill level, you will save a lot of money, also time, by not having to wait around for workmen to arrive. Splitting larger properties. I try to search for larger buildings where there is the opportunity to create two or more apartments from one. Generally, buying a larger building is a lot cheaper per square metre than a smaller one. Ideally, you would want to find a large property that needs a full refurb and split it into multiple rental apartments. By doing this, you should be able to get a very good return on your investment. Gas, water and electrics. When viewing a property, make a note of all mains entering into the building. Not only do you want to make sure they are all in good working order, but if you decide to take on any major renovation work, you might want to move the location of the mains or waste pipes if adding toilets or bathrooms. If you don't know what to look for, contact a local plumber or electrician to help you plan the new layout. Costs associated with the property. When working out whether you can afford the new property, do not forget to add up all the costs. Not only the mortgage if you are lending money against the property, but also maintenance costs, property taxes, insurance. Whether you will be renting the property furnished or not, you certainly want to be making some profit. And finally, will it work financially? In the past, I have always worked on the principle that I would need 10% annual rental return on my total investment, plus adding value to the property. In 2024, it certainly has become harder to find such properties, but they are about. It will just take longer to search and finding a more creative way to add value. Everyone's situation is different. If a property does not work for you, walk away from it and keep looking.